Welcome to the Question Source. Alright, anyways, guys. Hey, guys, welcome to the Question Source. It's Monday, and, well, Saturday for me, but Monday for you when you're watching this. Anyways, so my name's Dan. Dave's not here this week, so he'll be around next week. And let's do some housekeeping. How to submit a question to the Question Source. You are going to email it to ttechsource@gmail.com, and then we will answer that as fast as 1 week turnaround. Yay. Anyways, let's go on. So this week we got a few questions and just a few other housekeeping things. If you guys want to have pictures or things you want to share to us, we will share them. Send them over to, you can submit that through either Instagram, which is hashtag #TechSource, or Facebook. You can search the Tech Source on Facebook, or just email it to us. And yeah, so stick around. So our first question is from Adam. He said he's moving his OS from a hard drive to an SSD, and he's wondering, after he does it, so he's going to be buying an Intel SSD and using the data migration software from Intel, which is a pretty good idea. It's not too hard to do. I'd still recommend just doing a fresh install anyways. Download all the latest drivers and do that, and then after wipe your drive. So he's asking, after everything's moved over, can he use his old hard drive as a data drive to put games and movies and use it as storage and whatever, right? Well, you can. I do that. So basically all you need to do is, after you've got your OS settled on your new drive, you're just going to format that within Windows, the other drive. Just leave it plugged in your PC, and then you can just do whatever you want with it. It's just another drive, and you can use the storage any way you see fit. So it's pretty awesome. I do it all the time. My system's only got 2 drives in it, one 1 terabyte black and a Corsair Force 3 120 gig SSD, and it's pretty good, but I need something faster. I need something a bit more storage. So, but yeah, it works. So you can do it. So our next question is from Bernard. He's asking, basically, he's choosing between 2 laptops, an Alienware M17X with a GTX 680M and a Lenovo Y500 with SLI 750Ms. And basically the price difference between the two is, well, the Alienware is $1,700, and well, the Lenovo is less than $1,200. So there's a big difference there, and also the Alienware is 17-inch, and the Lenovo is only 15-inch. I'm going to say right off the bat, steer clear of 17-inch laptops. I have a 15.4 right here, and this thing's huge. My work laptop is a 14. It's actually a really good size. My ideal laptop size would be something like an X1 Carbon, so mega thin, and as well as it being like a 14-ish inch laptop. It's got a 14-inch screen on a 13-inch profile laptop. Make that one out. I don't know how they did that. But basically, the Y500 is a great laptop. You're going to get an excellent warranty for it. If you buy the best warranty, it's like $160, and you can get like a 3-year next day home warranty, which is really awesome, including accidental coverage. He's saying that, the Alienware has an upgradable video card. I've had his friends buy that stuff in the past, and then they find out later down the road, they're like, yeah, I'll throw in the latest mobile video card. It doesn't work. It's not supported anymore. Laptop's discontinued. Also, I prefer the styling of the Lenovo more than the Alienware. Alienware stuff is just a little too loud and extreme for me. I find it tacky. I like the look of the Lenovo. It's a lot cleaner. And as well, the only downside about the Lenovo is that, yes, it doesn't have a faster video card in it. It has a slower hard drive, but you can change that out yourself. And then install Windows 7 and call it a day. So I would say go for the Lenovo. It's cheaper. You're going to save you money. And as well, it's still an excellent laptop. You can get it with SLI video cards. Awesome. And then just take out the 1 terabyte drive and put in like a 1 terabyte black, or put in like a 256 gig SSD. The thing would be nuts. And yeah, I think go for the Lenovo. Our next question is from Andy. He's asking basically, he's like, I love the show. Awesome. Thanks, Ben. And he's asking basically, we've said in the past, it's always good to have multiple different passwords for different accounts for ultimate security. Now, he's saying, it's hard to remember after you go 2-3 passwords, and it's hard to remember all the passwords. I can understand that. And he's asking also, is it worth it? Is it a good idea writing these passwords down to a text file? No. Do not write your passwords down. Do not write your passwords down. It's a big no-no. Reason being, if someone finds that text file, then they have all your information, then all your passwords are, well, thrown out the window. So, what you should do is, if you decide to write your passwords down, put those in an encrypted file in a hidden folder, and then put that on a flash drive and stick that somewhere safe, where no one would find it, if you must. Now, my alternative to having multiple passwords is have your multiple accounts, but have the passwords slight variations of them. So not an entirely different password, but have a scheme. So say one's for your bank, and one's for your Facebook, and one's for your Google, and one's for Steam, and then one's for whatever, right? You can do that. Change it slightly so it makes it easy to remember. Or even having a number scheming. So like Facebook's, so your password's the text source, and then it's like for Facebook it's like 1, and then for Gmail it's the text source 2, and then say for like whatever, something like that. You could try that, but the only problem is if someone figures out your scheme, then you're kind of SOL. So it's always best to not write them down, or just come up with one really good password and you can use it across, or even just maybe come up with 2 to 3 passwords. For me, I have to remember multiple passwords. I have to remember all of my personal passwords, and then I got to remember all the passwords for at my work. Yeah. So, and we can't write any of the ones down at work, and I don't write any of the ones down at home. So, it's my brain just kind of goes with all these passwords I got to remember. So it's there's not too many at home, but there's quite a few at work. Especially if when you work in IT, you have quite a few different ones. You got ones. I'm just throwing out examples. You might have ones for, say, example, a phone system. You might have one for, you have your one for Active Directory. You have your one for your switches, and you have ones for your firewalls, and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have a lot of different passwords and a lot of different things to remember. And once you get used to that, and once you start getting used to all the passwords, and if you come up with a scheme that they all kind of make sense to you, I'd say it's not the best recommended thing, but maybe use something that you could relate to and it's easy to remember, and then you just kind of mix up the word. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully it answers your question. All right. Our next question is from Jacob. He's asking, well, first thing he's saying is, I love your show, and he says he has one question. Awesome. He's got a 23-inch monitor. He's asking what video card he should buy for it. A Gigabyte HD Radeon 7850 1GB card, or a Gigabyte Radeon HD 7850 2GB card, or would you guess it, a Radeon HD 7870 2GB card. So it looks like likes Gigabyte, and he's got his preference set. He's got his eyes set on a Gigabyte card. Now, I would recommend going for a minimum of a 2GB card for 1080p. I've used a single gig card before, but when you run into a lot of newer games, you do run out a bit of memory. So I would say go for a 2GB card. If you can, go for a 3GB card. My GTX 680, I think, is a 2GB. I think it is. I know, I didn't buy the 4GB model, so yeah, it's a 2GB card, I think. Even my old 480 was a gig and a half, and it was more than enough. So really, just go for a 2GB card. A 7850 or 7870 will be a great option. I would say go for the 7870. It's a little bit faster. It's going to definitely be worth a little bit more money that you're going to spend, and it'll make it that much better. So especially for 1080p res, and you want to really experience your games better, go for the 7870. Go for 2GB. So our next question is from Gary. He's asking, I know the i5 and the i7. I would like to know if the i5 and the i7 on LGA 1155 or 1150 good to be paired with a GTX Titan. Yes, it would be. You can get now let's just talk about 1155 because 1150 isn't out yet for Z87. But basically, an i7 3570K is a great processor. A 3770K is an even better processor, especially for what you're going to be doing. Now, what he's going to be doing is he wants to be pairing that up with a Titan, and he wants to put that on an ITX or a M-ATX motherboard with, he wants to do video editing and gaming. Now, that's great. The Titan is an excellent option for that because it's a smaller card than a 690, and since it's a single GPU, it's stupid fast, and it's incredibly reliable, most likely, because you won't have to worry about SLI issues. But basically, if you get an i7 3770K, It'll be great, and it's a good alternative instead of getting a socket 2011 processor. It's still plenty fast, and it's going to be great for video editing, and it's going to be great for gaming. You know, this system here we use for video rendering. It's got a GTX 480 and a 3770K at 4.5 gigahertz. It works awesome. So I'd say go for that. It'd be a great option. It's going to save you a bit of money. You know, the Titan's going to be your most expensive piece, I bet, but it will save you money. So our next question is from William, and he's from Sweden. Awesome. Cool. Anyways, he's saying, I love your channel, and that's really great. And basically, he's got a GTX... The heck? He's got a GTX 660 Ti, and he's wondering how well it will work for NVIDIA Surround. Now, this card will work pretty good, but I think it would be best if you SLI'd it or upgraded to a 670 or 680. Just because they got a bit, you can get the 670 with 4 gigs of RAM along with the 680. You're going to want the more memory to push the 3 screens at 1080p resolution, which most likely you'll be doing. A single 660 can do it with like 2 gigs of RAM. It's just, you won't be able to play games at like crazy high settings or anything like that. You can do it, and that's about it. I've done it on 2 480s and it works, but yeah, I would recommend getting at least a second 660 or look into getting a 4GB 670 or 680. So our last question is from Trey. He's asking, basically, he's having a system up and running for a bit, and he's noticed his video card has a slight droop in it, which is kind of odd. He says, "Is this bad? Should I tighten the screws more or even more?" Now let's use our GTX 680 as an example. Sorry. So our GTX 670 here, it's a pretty straight card. I'm guessing his is probably drooping a bit. Now, I would make sure your card, when you install it, maybe take it out. If it's got a massive aftermarket cooler, it probably does droop a bit. I've seen some cards do it. My 680 with the water block on it, it's like stupid heavy now. Like way heavier than the stock cooler. And the stock cooler did make it droop a bit just because it was like triple slot and it was really big. But the new cooler, because it's like so rigid, it fixed that issue. But anyways, the 6840, the 480, my brain's not working. It doesn't do that at all. But if it does, you know, I would say maybe just take it out, put it back in its slot, make sure it's in straight. Push it up all the way on your, push it up all the way and tighten in the 2 screws for it as much as you can. That would be probably your best option. But if it's still drooping a bit, I wouldn't really be overly concerned unless it's like really straining the PCI Express slot. But I wouldn't be too concerned. Like, what kind of video card do you have? You didn't say. And, yeah, so just let me know what kind of video cards you have. And, yeah, that's it. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. All right, guys, thanks for watching the show this week. The question source. Now, Dave wasn't around, unfortunately, but I was, had my nice co-host here, the Fractal Design Define R2 XL, or Define XL R2, I should say. So, yeah. But anyways, see you guys next week. Please remember to subscribe, rate, thumbs up. Check out our Facebook page. Use the hashtag on Instagram, TheTechSource. And if you need to submit a question to the Tech Source, for the question source, please email ttechsource@gmail.com, and we will answer your question within a week. So, yeah. We'll see you guys next time on thequestionsource.tv.